Hello YouTube, Esther 781. Got a friend of mine, Snowblower here. He just picked it up. His father, I guess, found it in a property he was cleaning out. And I gotta tell you, I wish I could find things as nice as this. Looks like a nice unit. Nice and clean, like no rust on it whatsoever. Tecumseh engine, so that means it's pre-2009, so... But anyway, I'm just going to show you what I usually do to go through these blowers and make sure they're good to go. Step one with any unknown small engine is pull the dipstick, give a look at the oil. Doesn't look too dirty. Hasn't been sitting outside, so I'm not really worried about water. It's full and off camera. I gave it a sniff. Does not smell like fuel. I actually don't know if this thing runs. It's full of gas. Gas smells fine. So now that we've made sure that the oil's full, give the throttle a feel. You should feel some resistance there. Make sure, just, depending on how long it's sat. I don't know if you can see. I'll do it with my finger under here. But you can see that those two rods right here. Those are going to move. And that lets you know the throttle isn't stuck, so it's not just gonna run wide open throttle on you. And yeah, let's give her a couple pumps, hook up the electric start, see if she goes. All right, plugged in focus. Let's give her some choke, and it idles. Drives. Sweet. Job's half done. So couldn't hear me screaming over the engine, but it idles fine. It drives as far as I can see. Augers work. This might be a short one. One thing I did notice that is a problem is, what is it? Oh, am I a liar? I'm not so sure. I was wondering if that was a shear pin, just because it didn't look the same as this side, had a sort of recessed head. But that little point on the end sort of tells me otherwise, so okay, I was wrong. Excellent. I tell you, these Tecumsehs, just for that short period of time, and my eyes are watering in here. She stinks. Always make sure you got proper ventilation. I got front door open, back door open. And let's get the oil draining. And on these, it couldn't be any simpler. I just have a wedge of wood right there under the front, tilting her a little back. 5/8 socket. The shift linkage, kind of shifted out of your way. Figures. So this is actually a very common issue. The whole pipe is turning. So very easy. All you gotta do, take a pipe wrench. Have it go the other way. I'm trying really hard to stay out of your way here, guys. I'm sorry. I bet you this thing's never been off. Should not have had to fight that hard. Anyway, we'll let it drip. See what kind of colorful surprises it has for us. Well, we got that drain, and this is a product called Ultra Lube. I've been using it for a few years now, and I really like it. It's basically just WD-40, but it's it's a little tacky. You know, it stays a lot better than just, like I say, regular old WD-40. But this is part of every snowblower that comes through here. Doing my best to aim and look at the camera at the same time. And how am I doing? But yeah, anywhere you can see, just give her a little squirt. Yep, stick your finger right in front of the camera. Perfect. A little down here. Anywhere that pivots. There's a couple plastic bushings here. I coat those. A little bit in here on the nut. Where the cable goes, on the cable. Yeah, that's basically it. And there we go. We get the last couple drips. And just a quick tip for anybody who might be working on one of these that was sitting outside for a while or sort of not stored the best. When you pull this drain plug, if there was any water in it and you haven't started it yet, that's the time you're going to see it. I've had a couple that came in and, you know, they've been sitting for years and they just wanted them gone through. And it only took one time for me to start one up that the oil looked fine on the stick, but the water was lower than the oil. And as soon as I started it, it made this brown milkshake slurry inside the engine. Oh, it took me forever to flush it. So if there's ever any question, don't run the engine. Just drain it out first, and then you'll save yourself a ton of headache. It's not looking the best, folks. Like I say, I think that's the first time this oil's been changed. You can see that silvery look to it. I mean, these Tecumsehs are as hard as a casket nail to kill, so I'm sure it'll be fine. But I'm glad the first thing we're doing is a nice full service. Yeesh. Also, that is the oil out of this one, so it's obviously junk. But I do save the other oil. You know, this is that royal purple from my leaf vac that I just drained out. And I'll actually save that. And if I do have an engine come in with milky oil in it, that's the oil that I'll put in to sort of flush it out. And, you know, runs fresh, so I'm not wasting fresh, brand new oil. I'm just sort of recycling used oil, and it's perfectly fine. Doesn't hurt the engine. It just doesn't hurt your wallet, which is what counts. We're also missing a bolt down here, I just noticed. And that's why it pays to have a scrap pile. This is my Tecumseh box. And every time I get a junk engine, I'll take little specific bolts. That was the other one. You know, little knickknacks, little specially coarse threaded and bushings, and you know, these are the special cage nuts for the splitting of the bucket. Anyway, moving on. Okay, got the oil filled up. It takes a little less than a quart. Next very overlooked piece of maintenance, the front gearbox fluid. I'm just gonna dip my pick in there. All right, it is full, so don't have to do anything there. And you just send this bolt right home. If you did actually need fluid, that's what they take. Ariens L3. It's basically gear oil. I know guys that just use 75 190. 75 190? I think I got a bottle of it behind it. Yeah, 75 90. Sorry, no one. And it's worked fine for them, but I always put in what it says to put in. And now we do a little bit of snowblower yoga. Jason over at Pate's Performance. How you doing, buddy? If you guys haven't checked out his channel, you should go give him a like. He does similar stuff. Does great things with snowblowers. This is the next part of the service. Just check out the belly pan. There's usually a mouse nest sitting right here. This is all just old burnt belt material. Not a big problem. And, ooh, there's an issue. That's your rubber drive disc. And it definitely needs to be changed. There's no doubt about that. I was just seeing how thick it was, see how much time he had left, but I think There's no time like the present. It's very greasy in here, which is a good thing. There's one grease fitting right there. Pump up for the grease. And on some models, there's another one on the other side. This one doesn't have it. Giving a peek at the belts. This one's changed. Drive belt looks fine. You can also pop the cover off from up top. But, sweet. I'll seal this back up. I'll slap a little bit of grease in the gear teeth themselves, but get a drive disc ordered. Also, if you're checking out a machine and you don't have tools on you to take off this belly pan, if you put the shifter in just the right spot, come on, you'll be able to see that drive disc right through this little peeky hole. You'll see all those cracks. Just give you an idea of what you're buying. And of course it goes without saying, always put a couple pumps of grease in all these grease fittings. Good habit to get into if you have the time and the means is pop your shear pins out when you do it. Pump some grease in, give the auger a spin, let it get all coated in there. I mean, it may seem like tedious now, and you obviously don't have to do that every year, but an ounce of prevention prevents, what is it, frostbite? Well, anyway. And that wraps it up for this one, guys. I think I'll end up doing a drive disc on it. Maybe I'll do a separate video on that one, but other than that, she's ready to go. Even with the crummy drive disc, if we got snow tomorrow, she'd be fine. So thanks again, guys, for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing. See you soon. Bye.